guys, Brian Hillard here, author of the best-selling book, Networking Like a Pro, and today we are going to talk about how to better monetize your reputation online. Now, if you are a coach, consultant, maybe you're a speaker or a lawyer or author or service professional, you've probably had this situation before, right? You are an expert in your industry. People see you as an expert in your industry. You go out and speak at different civic groups and do all this good stuff. People are asking you questions and all that stuff. But the challenge is getting people to actually write the checks as much as you would like. Right? Sometimes, sure, obviously you have some clients, no one's disagreeing with that, but what the challenge is how can you better monetize that reputation? How can you leverage that into more revenue, quite frankly, for yourself and your business without looking like a used car salesman in the process, okay? So what we're going to talk about here today is we're going to talk about how you can better monetize your reputation online, okay, specifically, because I don't know about you, but I've had this challenge myself. I've tried to, you hear people say, well, you got to sell stuff online and you got to blog and you got to, obviously have a website and just do some of these things. And what we're going to just try to do, you got to LinkedIn and YouTube and all of this stuff, social media. Let's just cut through the clutter a little bit. I'm going to give you some thoughts on what it is that I've done to better monetize my reputation online, okay? And we'll just jump right in, okay? So, first of all, what you're going to want to do is obviously you need to have yourself a website, okay? If you do not have yourself a website, then you might as well just, reach on over, hit the stop button, and, go to WordPress and get yourself a website. Because if you don't have a website, there's no way that you can begin to have a conversation about monetizing your reputation. Okay. Second thing you're going to want to do is you are going to want to take a look at seriously considering either adding a blog component to your website, or if you want, creating an entire separate blog for your site. Okay, so you have a website and you have a blog. I personally have about I have a website, brianhillard.com, okay, and then I have at least 3 blogs that I can think, 4 actually, off the top of my head, that are separate areas. And the reason I have that is because they're all geared for separate and different niche markets. We talked about that during our last, session, so if you're not familiar with that, just go back and take a look at it. But I go with having a website, okay, and then I have a separate blog. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can have a website with an adjoining blog, and that's totally fine, okay? But you have to have a blog. Then what you want to do is you want to get yourself set up with an online newsletter, okay? You have to get yourself an online newsletter, and I'll tie all these things together. I personally use MailChimp, okay? MailChimp.com. Free service up to the first 2,000 users, okay? 2,000 names on there. So, MailChimp, website, blog, all right? Those are your 3 things. And you can throw in LinkedIn and YouTube if you want, but we'll maybe get into that later. Now, the way that you can better monetize your reputation online is you need to, first of all, create a rapport with people that you meet. That means having regular communication with some type of newsletter that allows you to be able to communicate with them, like I just said, in a way, and here's the catch, where they feel you're adding value. I see a lot of people, they go out and they think their idea of a newsletter, right, is, a weekly promotion. Or, you don't talk to the people, except the only time you do is when you're trying to sell them something. That's not a newsletter. I don't know what that is. That's something else, okay? What I'm talking about is a dialogue with these folks. I'm talking about maybe where you go out and speak and they decide to get on your list and then you communicate with them once or twice a month. I'm talking about where you go out and network and you ask them if they'd like to be on your list and you communicate with them once or twice a month. I'm talking about, people ask me, well, what should I be saying to folks? Take a look at some frequently asked questions, see what it is that people are asking of you, right? You have clients, you have somebody, okay? So take a look at it, see what these people are asking of you, then turn that around and put that as a blog post. Okay, put that as a video. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just doing a quick little video. It's a nice little training. It's some value added. I'm going to put it onto YouTube, and shazam, that's going out to my network. That's going out to my list. That's going out to anybody who has an interest on better monetizing your reputation online in particular, or their reputation in general. Okay, so I would encourage you to get yourself a blog. Start taking a look at your frequently asked questions, and then here's the other thing you want to do. You want to make sure that you are engaging people and adding value, and then if you really want to better monetize your reputation online, don't be afraid to make an offer. Okay, that's one of the mistakes I made earlier on. I would, I gave people good stuff and I was talking and engaging and people were like, oh, this is great. I was like, oh, this is so great. They're like, oh, this is great. They're like, keep talking again. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like a dog. Our dog, Barley, it's like when he gets down on the floor, I don't know if he goes, oh, and that's what I was like. It was like someone was rubbing my tummy. Okay, but what was not happening was I wasn't making the offer, I wasn't making the ask, I wasn't presenting, something that people could buy. Whether that's in the form of a book, or a CD, or an online class, or a webinar, or whatever, don't make that mistake. Have some type of offer. Make it for, $19 if you want. Heck, we have our webinars that start off at the super early bird, and some of our events sometimes, just depends, but they start off at rock bottom prices just to get the ball rolling and get people moving. Let me tell you a really, really, really good resource. If you have not heard of this fellow, his name is Jeff Walker, okay? Jeff Walker has got something called the Product Launch Formula. Pick up a copy of that book if you really want to get into, online marketing, and well, maybe not online marketing, but the launching of your online stuff. It is awesome. You will really, really enjoy that. But for now, here's the things that you want to keep in mind. Website, obvious. Blog, not so obvious. Newsletter, maybe not so obvious. Tie that in with a blog post that you are then able to tell people, okay, this is a blog post I put up here, and I tell you about it with my newsletter, okay, and make an offer on here every once in a while, publish once or twice a month. I'm a twice a month man myself, but whatever, once or twice a month, and if you really want to kick it up a notch, shazam, okay, you can kick it up a notch, and you can then decide you want to tell people about this blog post through your LinkedIn account. People ask me all the time, how can I better monetize my LinkedIn, network? And that's a whole separate conversation. We won't get into that. But one of the ways you can do that is making sure that your LinkedIn constituency knows about your blog post. Send out a personalized message. People, there's different schools of thought on this. People say, blast something out and just blast it out and just blast it out. I don't agree with that. Like posts or something like that. I think you got to send out a personalized message to these people. You can copy and paste. Hey, just thought that you might want to see this link. Bam, bam, bam. I can do 2 to 3 of those a minute. Okay, and do it that way. You will have much more success as opposed to blasting it out, just on whatever. Like you see these news feeds on LinkedIn. I don't really agree with that. Okay, but if you do all of that, website, blog, LinkedIn, you've got some video. You can do. We didn't talk about this, but if you want to do some audio with an MP3, a little podcast, make the offer. That's important. Make the offer, or at the very least, get people to come to your workshop, come to your session, come to your webinar, even if it's free. Make some type of offer. That will go a long way towards better monetizing your reputation online. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's something that you can see yourself using. If you want to take a deeper dive on some of this stuff, we actually have a blog ourselves, like I just said. It's called Monetize My Rep. All right, that's www.monetizemyrep.com. It's all kinds of tips and tricks that you can take a look at on how to grow and monetize your reputation as an expert. But in the meantime, my name is Brian Hillard saying so long, take care, and thank you for your time.